Last year, I used the website Blogger to produce my blog. I thought this was a good idea as it is easy to use and looks professional. However, this year, as I have more skills and understanding of creating media products, I chose to use Weebly instead. Weebly is a much more complicated software to use and I did struggle with it at first. However, once I got into it and learned the basics, it became relatively simple. The concept of dragging and dropping things to use, such as the embed code, seemed initially an irritating process, but became less of an issue after some practice. Despite the complexity of the site, it is very aesthetically pleasing. The drop-down menus allow for a much easier usage of the site and a much better structure to it. I also used YouTube to present my final piece, whilst I also used it for researching clips of other documentaries. In my research, I made quite a few presentations on Prezi. I am not particularly fond of Prezi, but the presentation of them is very nice and is easy to use, particularly for presenting something like research on documentaries, as it is easy to include YouTube clips. I used sites such as Scribd, DocDroid and SlideShare to upload my PowerPoints and Word documents before uploading them to Weebly. These were particularly easy to use and were free to create an account. Once uploaded, I used the embed code to put them onto my Weebly blog. I used SurveyMonkey to create my questionnaires that I sent out to friends and family whilst trying to factor in my target audience. This software was very easy to use, but was frustrating that it requires a large fee to be able to export the results. To avoid the large fee on SurveyMonkey, I recreated my questionnaire's answers on Infogram. This took a little time, but the presentation of the results was perfect and made it very easy to assess the results and spot any anomalies. I used Final Cut Pro X to create and produce my documentary. As I used it in my AS year to create my thriller, I was already familiar with how to use Final Cut and I got to work on the editing immediately. This process was much simpler than last year due to my knowledge of the software, and also due to the fact that documentaries require longer takes than thrillers. Last year, my decisions on the editing were largely based on which clip to use for a particular scene, having taken multiple clips of the same scene. However, this year that differed as I had more clips of lots of different scenes, and due to the necessity of longer takes, my decisions this year were about which scene worked best with the other scenes. Admittedly, I did struggle with the editing at times this year due to my school updating the software. This made various features of the software harder to find and delayed my editing a little. Once I got used to it, however, it was simple again and I got on with it. My knowledge of the software did develop from last year to this year with my use of color correction and sound correction for my documentary. I used SoundCloud to present various parts of my research and planning, and also part of question 1 of my evaluation. This made it effortless in allowing verbal presentations. For my filming, I predominantly used the Sony HXR MC2500 camera, which is a 1080p Full HD camera. This camera was fun to use and provided good stability when filming. However, due to the vibration of my hand, I used a tripod to provide a perfectly stable camera with good mobility. I also used a GoPro Hero 4 Session for the interview shots in the car. This was a very useful camera for me as it is small and adaptable to various situations. It also provides very clear shots that are as effective as with the Sony camera. For the newspaper advert ancillary task, I used Photoshop. This was a very complex piece of software and it took me a while to get the hang of it. I managed to learn some of the basics that I could manage to complete the ancillary tasks with, such as the layering system and fading. Lastly, I used WhatsApp on my phone to communicate with my group and my actors in order to arrange filming and editing times. WhatsApp is a very useful group chat app as it allows to easily send pictures, videos and texts to each other. This meant, for example, that we could send each other clips of other parts of documentaries that we like and could include in our own documentary.